with spring, the sickness lifted. We also had visitors.
No, father.
Welcome, Englishmen.
You speak English?
I learned it from English fishermen. My name is Samoset.
Here, the wind is biting cold.
If you are hungry, we have biscuits, butter, cheese, pudding, and duck.
You have landed at a harbor called Patuxet.
Tell us what happened to the people who cleared this land.
All died in an extraordinary plague.
5 days later, on March 22, 1621, the Indians returned, led by Massasoit, a sachem or chief of the Wampanorags. We also met Squanto, who spoke excellent English. When Squanto was younger, he was captured by an Englishman, Thomas Hunt. Hunt whisked Squanto away to Spain to be sold as a slave, but a group of monks purchased him and gave him a home. The monks also taught Squanto about Jesus Christ and helped find a ship to take him back to his village, Patuxet. But when he returned to his village in America 5 years later, he found that every single person had been killed by plague. Squanto served as our interpreter on that providential day in March of 1621.
Why does Massasoit look so afraid? We mean him no harm.
Beware, these Englishmen store the plague in barrels buried in the ground.
We made a covenant of peace with Massasoit and his people. When they left our village, Squanto remained behind to live with us. The next day,
My gift to you. I caught these this morning.
Squanto was sent of God to us for our good. He taught us how to use fish to fertilize our plants, and he was our guide and interpreter. I never would have thought that eels could taste so good.
Fat and sweet.
In the days to come, our governor, John Carver, died suddenly of sickness, and I became the new governor.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying.
Our covenant of peace with the Indians grew stronger. We gave corn to them to make up for what we had taken when we arrived. I also sent Edward Winslow and Stephen Hopkins to Massasoit's village as a sign of our goodwill.
If you are weary, we can carry your supplies and guns across the stream.
Thank you, but that will not be necessary.
After games and other entertainment, Winslow and Hopkins were given the honor of sleeping in Massasoit's crowded dwelling.
Are you asleep?
How can I, when these warriors sing themselves to sleep?
Hobomok, a warrior for Massasoit, came to live with us. But one day he brought shocking news.
I fear that Squanto is dead.
What happened?
We were attacked by Corbitant, and one of Corbitan's men pressed a knife against Squanto's chest. But I escaped and ran here to tell you.
Corbitant?
He's a chief from the village of Matapoiset.
If we allow our friends to be wronged, what will stop the enemies of Massasoit from coming after us next?
Our peace treaty pledges us to seek justice for Squanto and Massasoit.
We leave at dawn.
The next morning, August 14.
If we find that Squanto has been killed, we will seize Corbitant and punish him. We'll have his head.
I am convinced that Corbitant is trying to undo our peace covenant with Massasoit.
We'll find Corbitant at the village of Nemasket.
The village is 3 miles away. We wait here for dark, and then Hobomok will lead us to Corbitant's Witu.
The rain masked the sound of our footsteps.
Don't let anyone escape. Where is Corbitant? Deliver him to us.
They say that Corbitant is not here. He has fled for his home at Matapoiset.
Please don't harm us. You are our friend.
Ask them what happened to Squanto.
They tell me that Squanto is still alive. Corbitant threatened him but did not kill him.
Praise God.
Fortunately, no one was killed here today.
If any Indians have been injured, we can tend to their wounds back at Plymouth.
We didn't find Corbitant, so I wouldn't call our raid a success. However, the raid earned us the respect of many tribes. On September 13, 9 sachems or chiefs came to Plymouth to make a covenant. The peace spread.
Food is plenty this year.
The harvest was good, but what went wrong with our peas?
I think we planted them too late.
You have shot enough fowl to feed us all for a week. God be praised.
It is time we set aside a day to rejoice together after a more special manner.
We celebrated with our Wampanoag friends who brought 5 freshly killed deer. Food was in abundance: deer, wild turkeys, striped bass, bluefish and cod. But our peace hung by a thread, as we soon learned. A relative of Squanto's came to us with terrible news. What happened?
Massasoit's people have joined with the Narragansett tribe, and they are planning to attack you.
That's a lie. I would know if Massasoit was plotting to attack you. I believe that Squanto is behind these lies. He's trying to turn you against Massasoit.
Why would he do such a thing?
If you attack Massasoit's people, Squanto thinks they will turn to him for protection. It's his way to overthrow Massasoit and become their new leader.
Hobomok was right. Massasoit was not planning to attack us, so Massasoit's men came to Plymouth, seeking to punish Squanto for his lies.
Deliver Squanto into our hands. Squanto must die.
We have come to take his head and his hands.
Why did you do this to us?
Squanto had done wrong, but how could I hand him over to die? He was our interpreter. More importantly,
Squanto was my friend.
I did not answer Massasoit's demand immediately, and this infuriated his men. They left in the heat of anger, so Squanto lived. Squanto, tell me, what are these holes?
These holes trap our memories in time. We dig these holes wherever a remarkable act has happened. It is our connection to the past. So many of my people have died from plague. These memory pits keep our connection to them alive.
In November of 1622, Squanto and I traveled south in a ship called the Swan. We sailed past the spot where the Mayflower nearly broke to pieces. The Swan survived. But alas, Squanto did not. He died of a fever. I lost a good friend. As he died, Squanto asked me to pray that he might go to the Englishman's God in heaven. I prayed for him, knowing that the Lord is far more than an Englishman's God.